Hi, A pushers. I'm going to explain how to do the sit sheet template with our civil rights movement clips. So, as you can see, I've made a little template here. Got the ability to add lots and lots of things. But sit stands for shocking, interesting, and troubling. Okay, and I will guarantee that you will find no shortage of shocking, interesting, and troubling things in these clips. So, this is just a template. We can use this over and over again for different topics. Today, we're focusing on the civil rights movement from 1955 to 1968. So you're going to have linked to this on Google Classroom. And these are the clips, and they do go in chronological order. Now, since this is going to take us more than a half hour, I'm going to stretch this out over 2 days. But I do want you to really kind of put some thought into this. I want to make sure that I'm seeing some evidence that you have watched all 9 clips and all 9 events and really show the progression of the civil rights movement from 1955 to 1968. So we're starting with the murder of Emmett Till. Just be aware that this one has some pretty graphic images in it, but I think they're also important to see. So check out that clip there and tell me something shocking, something interesting, and something troubling. Okay. Same thing with the integration of Central High School. And I've tried to put the how long each one is, just so since you're doing this at home, and that way you can kind of really get a sense of your timing. And if you have more time on one day versus another, you can kind of plan ahead. So we've got the sit-ins movement. We've got one on the Birmingham campaign. This is actually a National History Day student documentary that was an award-winning one, and it's really well done. And this person's done their homework, so it's a pretty nice job. Shameless plug for National History Day Club. You should join. It's a lot of fun. Do it next year. Mississippi Freedom Summer. And so I have a clip here. And then I also have the optional if you wish. It's about a minute and a half, but it's the trailer for the movie Mississippi Burning that came out in 1988, which is based on the murder of those 3 students. I've got the Voting Rights Act. Now, this one was in the other show that I embedded, so it might be a rewatch, but I think that's still important to see. And what I want you to think about is connected from the Selma Bridge to the Ballot movie, connected to this law. Okay. See if you can make some connections there. The Long Hot Summer. So, this I actually took you to a link, and it's going to take you to Cleveland Historical. And on Cleveland Historical, it's going to take you to the Huff Riots, which is our city's part in this event. Read to get a little context, a little background on Huff, what happened in the 1950s, how things started to deteriorate, because I think this is a bigger story here of not just Cleveland, but what was happening in a lot of urban areas in the 1950s. And then it takes you to the Huff Riots in 1966. Okay, there's 2 powerful, short but powerful clips down here. And this one is We Knew Something Was Going On. And this is probably my favorite one of the two. It's Larry Rivers, who was 15, I believe, when the Huff Riots happened. And they asked him, was it good? And listen to what he says about the effects of the Huff Riots. Think about what that means for the greater movement. Okay. I've got the creation of the Black Panther Party. So this is Uhuru Williams explaining to you about 2 minutes on that. And then this is the one, this might be a rewatch for you. I wanted you to watch this, but this is the last speech Martin Luther King Jr. ever gives. I just got chills thinking about this speech. Like, it's pretty amazing. It's almost like he knew what was going to happen the next morning. So watch his clip, see what he says about the Constitution and our freedoms and why he's doing what he's doing. Okay. So you're going to watch those 9 different clips. You're going to just bullet points are fine. Okay. We're gathering information. We're being historians here. We're gathering evidence. What's something you find shocking, something you find interesting, something you find troubling? And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this as the basis for us to have a little discussion over Zoom. So we're going to do that together. Okay. So gather some information and think about also how this relates even to things we see today, right? I think you guys have witnessed some issues with race relations in our country from the Charlottesville violence that happened there in August of 2017 through groups like Black Lives Matter pushing for more rights and more awareness. And, even things like I mentioned before, when we're talking about sports, think about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the national anthem, why he's doing that, why some people feel that is acceptable and why some people feel like that is out of bounds, and think about how it can relate to any of these things. So try to apply some things happening in your life right now to some of the things that were happening then. I look forward to us having a good discussion.